A Godless Society by Aloe Vera. The steady decline of Denki's mental health begins with Bakugou Katsuki. Like most things seem to, because the guy has the biggest main character energy Denki's ever encountered. It's ridiculously unfair how Bakugou manages to make everyone around him seem like a side character in their own lives. It doesn't help that he constantly refers to them all as extras. No, Bakugou knows exactly what he's doing. It's hero training on a Friday, which means that he just has to get to the next 4 hours, and then he can go to Sarah's house, get high, and watch rom-coms while telling everyone else that they'd been watching horror movies. He's only been enrolled in UA for 2 weeks, and he's pretty sure the amount of stress he's being put under is going to give him premature arthritis. He's not being dramatic either. Rheumatoid arthritis has been proven to be worsened by external factors like extreme stress. Bakugou, who gives approximately 0 shits about the health of Denki's joints, is busy sparring with Kirishima. And look, Kirishima is Denki's bro, which is why he's genuinely worried about him. How masochistic do you have to be to spar with Bakugou, Satan begged me to leave hell because I was running him out of a job Katsuki? Kirishima is barely sweating. He watches, with a strangely increasing sense of foreboding, as Kirishima pulls off a pretty fancy maneuver and pins Bakugou to the ground. Oh, fuck me, Bakugou groans. Believe me, Kirishima breathes. I'm trying to. What the fuck? Denki isn't the only one noticing this absolute fucking train wreck. Aizawa-sensei is glaring at the ceiling, like it's doing him a personal disservice by not collapsing. Poor Midoriya is looking pleadingly at All Might, like he's begging the hero to put him into a coma. Jiro looks pretty close to cutting off her ears, a la Van Gogh circa 1888. Kirishima, finally seeming to realize how close he is to dying young, in a blaze of humiliation and teenage hormones, flushes brighter than his hair and starts sputtering apologies. Bakugou just cocks his head. You trying to ask me out, shitty hair? What the fuck? Kirishima smiles, then, bruised and sharp. Yeah, bro. If you'll have me. Bakugou smirks. Beat me one more time and we'll see. What the fuck? Half the class is staring at them, now with an unholy mixture of horror and reverence. The other half is resolutely looking away for the same reason. Kirishima wins again. Bakugou pulls him down for a rough kiss. Huh, says Shinzo. I think I just threw up a little. What the fuck? Sarah and Denki don't watch rom-coms that night. Neither of them has the stomach for it. Denki goes back to school on Monday with the same mindset that the American president adopted back in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. I do not see it. .png. It's not real, he tells himself, desperately. It's not real, because there's no universe where Bakugou Katsuki is the first person in their class to get a relationship. There's no universe where Kirishima Ejiro, the only good thing on God's green earth, wants to fuck Bakugou Katsuki. For the first few moments of homeroom, Friday looks like it might have just been an intense maladaptive daydream. Bakugou and Kirishima walk in together, but they're not holding hands or furiously making out. The only worrying thing that suggests it might not be Denki's own fucked up brain is the entire class, including Aizawa, looking just as tense as he is. Bakugou drops his pencil. Kirishima reaches to pick it up. The class inhales, collectively. Here you go, bro. Thanks. The class exhales, tentatively. No blushes. No pet names. Kirishima had called Bakugou bro, which, while still being vaguely scary and incorrigible, isn't completely out of character. Midoriya is the only one who still looks like he's seen a ghost. Denki keeps an eye on him throughout class because, look, Midoriya is like their class mascot, okay? He's too good, too pure to have to be around that menace that's Bakugou. Denki will protect him with his last breath. Uraraka looks pretty close to taking Midoriya to Recovery Girl. Ida doesn't look too far behind. Still, Midoriya manages to make it through the rest of homeroom without collapsing. which is pretty admirable. The bell rings. Bakugou and Kirishima, unfettered by the eerie atmosphere permeating the classroom, are the first ones out the door. Uraraka rushes to Midoriya's side. Deku, are you okay? Midoriya doesn't stop staring at Bakugou's empty seat, something glassy in his eyes. He said thanks, he murmured, his words spacey and disjointed. What? Uraraka frowns, placing a hand on Midoriya's forehead. Do you feel sick? Recovery Girl might have some medicine to help you. Kachan said thanks, Midoriya repeats, louder this time. To Kirishima. Kachan thanked Kirishima. The word thanks left Kachan's mouth, because he was talking to Kirishima, who he thanked. Even Aizawa looks unsettled. Midoriya, if you're not feeling well, I can take you to Recovery Girl. No, Jiro says, slowly. He has a point. When was the last time any of you heard Bakugou thank anyone? The silence is very, very telling. I think he thanked me a few days ago, when I handed him his homework, Yamama offered slowly. Suyu shakes her head. That was more of an affirmative grunt than anything else. Sorry, Ribbit. He doesn't even thank All Might, Midoriya continues, the light leaving his eyes. His childhood idol, his blueprint for heroism, the symbol of peace, the strongest hero in the world. Then, Sero says, voice shaking, what the fuck does that mean for how Bakugou sees Kirishima? Nobody can bring themselves to say it. Maybe it's just character development, Denki says, attempting to lighten the situation. We've all changed, even in 2 weeks, right? I'm pretty sure my spine's broken like 17 times at least. Bakugou can learn to start saying thank you like a normal person. Yes, Midoriya says, his face no less white. Character development. Kachan thanked someone because of character development. It's not especially encouraging. Despite Midoriya's slight breakdown in homeroom, the rest of the day is relatively uneventful, and Denki reminds himself that Midoriya, while being an absolute ray of sunshine, is also known for analyzing a subject until it checks itself into therapy, citing lack of privacy. Bakugou thanking someone isn't equivalent to him passionately making love to them under the light of a full moon. It's just human decency. This is the problem with Bakugou, really. The guy sets the bar 6 feet underground when it comes to general assholery, and the entire world is uprooted when he does anything remotely mundane by the rest of society's expectations. At lunch, Kirishima drags Bakugou to sit at their table. Denki, Sero, and Ashido all tense, wary, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. They don't feed each other strawberries, or drink out of the same milkshake with 2 straws. Though, to be fair, neither of those options are offered by the lunch menu, so Denki doesn't really know what he'd been expecting. What's surprising is that Bakugou is actually pretty funny when he's not exhibiting his dominance over the rest of their entire class. He points out that Sero's hair resembles a mullet, and, as Denki chokes into his curry, proceeds to only refer to Sero as a myriad of mullet-having celebrities. Wait, Bakugou, dude, Sero says, quickly changing the subject. That's like the whole bottle of hot sauce. Fuck off, Keith Kogan. Lunchwatch is actually a pretty good cook, but they have to make lunch for a school of pussies, so... Bakugou's parents are beasts when it comes to spice, Kirishima laughs. I tried his dad's tantan men and started crying. Denki's blood freezes. Kirishima says this like he's been to Bakugou's house. Kirishima sounds like Bakugou has an actual family that does actual family things, when Denki has been largely operating on the assumption that someone had found a Canadian goose, accidentally turned it into a human, and just left it in Japan. You've been to Bakugou's house, Kirishima. Ashido's voice doesn't sound like she's internally screaming, but Kaminari picks up on it all the same. It's nice to know he's not alone. Yeah, this weekend. Didn't you guys see? It was on my Snapchat story. Kirishima's Snapchat story had been him clinking a bottle of mango calippo with someone else, captioned, cracking open a cold one with my boy. Wait. Fuck, that means... My old hag said she wanted to meet my boyfriend, Bakugou says, scowling. This asshole just ended up bullying me with my parents for 3 fucking hours. Fucking audacity. Kirishima just grins. It was super fun. Your parents are super funny, dude. It's insane. I can't wait to come over again. Which reminds me, we should all hang out next weekend. Yeah, Tenki says, dazed. We can all cry over Tantan Men together. Bakugou squints at him. I know I threaten to kill you a lot, but do you actually take me seriously? I wish I did, Denki thinks, desperately. Death would be favorable to whatever the fuck this is. So you guys are official! Ashido's smiling, though it's a little too bright. Kirishima's looking at her strangely. They've been friends since middle school, haven't they? He imagines the guilt Ashido must be going through right now, playing over what she could have done to dissuade Kirishima from the path he's on right now. What could any of them have done, really? Kirishima's face breaks into an easy grin. Yeah, I guess we are. And Kirishima's grinning at Bakugou, and there is a minuscule quirk to Bakugou's lips, and holy fuck. Denki is gonna need so much therapy after this. I'm sure you're all wondering why we're here, Denki says solemnly. I know we haven't been together very long, but I need you guys to realize that we all got attacked by villains like a week ago, and that's still not the worst thing that's happened to us as a class. Jiro raises an eyebrow. Are you talking about Bakugou and Kirishima? I am talking, Denki announces grandly, about Bakugou and Kirishima. Jiro rolls her eyes. Rude. I will admit, it is disconcerting, Ida says, sheepishly. As much as Denki rags on the guy, he's still fucking adorable. Ida tries so hard to manage their whole class. It's like watching a mother duck hopefully lead her ducklings across the street, knowing at least 7 of them are going to be hit by a car, but ultimately end up alright. Well, that's pretty goddamn optimistic. Bakugou and Kirishima are less an incoming car, and more an 18-wheeler speeding at 200 miles an hour. Still, Yaoyozuru says, wringing her hands, is it really our business? They haven't done anything since Friday. Uraraka nods. Yeah, are we even sure they're a couple? Denki sighs so heavily he's pretty sure the action burns at least 7 calories. They confirmed it at lunch today. Kirishima met his parents over the weekend. Midoriya, the poor guy, looks close to blacking out. Ida picks up on this, like the absolute legend that he is, and adjusts Midoriya so that he's curled up in Ida's lap. If Denki wasn't so focused on the absolute horror that's fallen upon their class, he might have found it within himself to be jealous of Midoriya. Okay, yeah, so maybe he's a little jealous of Midoriya. Maybe when all of this is over, he'll ask Ida to compare hand sizes. Do you think... Jiro instantly cringes as the attention shifts to her, but the circle is tense with fear, and Jiro has established herself as one of the more level-headed classmates. On Friday, after what they said, do you think that they... She trails off, blushing heavily, which is inconsiderate, really, because no one in the room is telepathic, and the only logical conclusion is definitely not PG-13. Even though Denki has had to deliberate the unnecessary complexities of Bakugou's sex life, enough to last an entire generation of Kaminari's... Hagakure squeaks. You think they fucked? There's an immediate influx of noise. Uncalled for! Ashido boos. This is a good Christian server, Shinzo groans, his eye bags darkening by the second. Why would you even say that? Denki cries. Why would you even reference, nay, suggest, nay, allude to the possibility of Bakugou and Kirishima boning? Denki finally knows what it sounds like when 17 young hero hopefuls screech in tandem. Bone, Ida murmurs, sounding terrified at the mere concept. I didn't know... Shinso eyes him cautiously. He turns to Denki, then, and there's something in his violent eyes that screams, "And this now or I will feed you to Snipe's pet Komodo dragon and fuck. Does Denki have competition? Is that what's happening now?" He blinks. He needs to focus. "All in favor of pretending it's not happening." "We do not see it," Todoroki says, nodding. Denki almost chokes. The rich kids in this class really are all gems. It's a nice moment of class solidarity, until they realize that there are no bells on the roof, and that they are all very, very late for English with the present mic. They agree to keep all future discussions in the group chat. Bakugou and Kirishima are, of course, right on fucking time, and laugh together as the rest of them are marked late. It's the beginning of the end. See, Denki's plan revolves around the idea that Bakugou and Kirishima eventually realize that they're better off as friends, and that whatever weird fit of passion had overcome him on the day of the incident is not conducive to a healthy relationship. This is what happens instead. Kirishima declares himself Bakugou's unwavering horse at the festival, and although Sero and Ashido both look like they've swallowed something nasty, neither of them says anything. Unfortunately, Kirishima yells out in support for Bakugou during his match with Todoroki, and the latter ends up so embarrassed that he uses his left side. This only makes Bakugou more fierce, which in turn makes Kirishima yell even louder. They all console Todoroki for his unfair loss. Weeks go by. Ino almost dies in Hosu avenging his brother's death. Kaminari and Shinzo reluctantly declare a truce. The exams pass, and Kaminari fails because he's literally fighting a literal fucking mouse. What the hell is he supposed to do with that? He feels a bit better when Ashido, Sero, and Kirishima also fail. He feels slightly less better when he finds Bakugou and Kirishima making out behind the gym. Chat. Love is dead. Roadwork ahead. Bakugou wouldn't date someone that failed an exam, right? Tell me why it looks like Bakugou is still dating someone that failed an exam. Jay from Ninjago. I can't tell if that's insulting to Bakugou or Kirishima. Heterophobic. Do you care? Jay from Ninjago. I do if it's Kiri. Excuse me? Tarzan Monkey Man. Okay. Denki, I love you, man. But as much as it pains me to say this, you need to let go of your crush on Kirishima. Speedy Gonzalez. His crush on who? Tinky Winky. Yeah, his crush on who? Roadwork ahead. Eyes emoji ×3. Alien Queen. Shut up! Sarah, I cannot stand you. Okay, but guys, Kiri looks pretty fucking happy back there. It's kinda soft. Tinky Winky. They're aggressively playing Subway Surfers. Alien Queen. Yeah, but it's like a happy aggressive feel. Hentai Haven. How does one aggressively play Subway Surfers? Who changed my name? Jay from Ninjago. Shoji, I can't breathe. Wasn't me. Discount Violet. Wasn't me. Martha Stewart was arrested for insider trading. Wasn't me. Alien Queen. They're both trying to get the high score, and every time one of them dies, the other laughs really loud and flexes their coin. Pretty sure they're betting money on who can unlock the Player of the Month first. A lot of perps stared at me. It was not me. Hentai Haven. Sinners, all of you. Call Denki crazy, but he'd kind of assumed that after Kirishima had not only yelled at their entire class to go save Bakugou, but then actually went and saved Bakugou, that the two of them would actually start acting like a normal couple, as opposed to whatever unholy dynamic they usually had going on. I'm not delusional, right? Denki turns to Hunter, desperately. This is weirding you out too. His best friend tries smiling, but Denki can see the darkness creeping around his eyes. What? Hunter breathes. What are we looking at right now? Across the gym, Bakugo is firing his AP shots, his wicked attack with enough firing power to penetrate literal concrete, at Kirishima in all his unbreakable glory. "Looks like you're getting a little tired there, bro," Kirishima roars, his lips peeling back into a cricky macabre grin. "We can take a break if you need to." Bakugo snarls, shooting at him again. "Fucking bite me, asshole!" "This can't be healthy," Ojiro mumbles from beside them. "Should we tell someone about this? A teacher? A psychiatrist?" The fur on the edge of his tail is all fluffed up. Denki mourns his current emotional instability. He'd probably electrocute his friend if he tried petting him right now. It really is just another example of all the ways that Bakugo and Kirishima are ruining his life. Was the training camp a fever dream? Denki wonders. Is this another attack from the League of Villains? Even they wouldn't stoop so low. All three boys freeze. Aizawa-sensei has made his way into this little group, though he, surprisingly, doesn't seem to be gearing up to scold them for their inattention. Instead, the teacher's tired gaze is trained on the dynamic duo, enthusiastically trying to kill each other on the other side of the room. "No," Aizawa continues. His voice is so dry Denki almost coughs just listening to it. "This is karmatic retribution for my sins in my past life." "Sensei?" Ojiro ventures warily. "This was my inevitable consequence," Aizawa-sensei explains. Denki is pretty sure his teacher thinks he's answering the question, but he's also pretty sure Aizawa hasn't slept since he exited his mother's womb. "That makes sense," Hunter chirps, his grin stretched a little too tight. Denki, Ojiro, do you want to practice some hand-to-hand combat? I'm a little rusty." "No quirks?" Denki checks, already speed-walking away from the situation. "Sounds great," Ojiro agrees, keeping pace. Behind them, Aizawa's heavy sigh is loud enough to rattle mountains. They all have their own demons to fight. "I can see you cracking, dipshit! Now who's getting tired?" Kirishima's hardened laugh echoes through the gym. "I think you're seeing things, man. Those flashes can't be good for your eyes." There isn't an exorcism strong enough to rid Denki of his pain. Denki doesn't like thinking about the provisional license exam too much. Some Shinkensu asshole had picked up on Bakugou and Kirishima's weird thing, and decided to insult them about it. Bakugou doesn't tend to need an excuse to rain hellfire on someone, but Denki actually gets pissed. Bakugou and Kirishima are their fucked up couple, okay? Class A and Aizawa have copyrights on any insults, conspiracy theories, and general horror related to their situation. Fuck Shishikura and his fucking meatball quirk. Denki's a vegetarian and he's not fucking scared of him. He says something to this effect. Meatball Kirishima is rolling around laughing by his feet. The things he does for his friends, honestly. Once they've all gotten their spiffy provisional license, barring Bakugou and Todoroki, which cements Denki's belief that their timeline has gotten immeasurably fucked up ever since Kirishima lost his brain-to-mouth filter, work studies take up enough of everyone's time to forget about the elephant in the room. Bakugou and Kirishima are separated, most of the time, which makes it easier on the class. Sometimes. Keyword, sometimes, because the two are still ridiculously fucking competitive, and they spar like they're trying to kill each other, and the class isn't even worried about them fucking anymore, because they know that the only thing Bakugou is trying to shove into Kirishima is a basic knowledge of quadratic functions. And then, because the universe refuses to give them a break, comes the Shie Hasake raid. Denki kind of wishes that he'd been there because, for some reason, Aizawa has a child now, and everyone else seems okay with it. Kirishima, however, is all wrapped up and angsty in his hospital bed, where he's been stuck for the past 3 days, so maybe Denki dodged a bullet. The class has a rotating system to make sure each of their hospitalized friends has company throughout the day. This means that way too many people are in the room when Bakugou walks in for the first time to see his injured boyfriend. Denki immediately tenses. He's seen this moment in movies before. It's supposed to be equal parts dramatic and heart-wrenching, with copious tears and violins playing in the background. "Kirishima," Bakugou says, slowly. Kirishima looks up at him, and he's grinning, and Denki has been waiting so long for this relationship to exhibit even a semblance of traditional romance. You're like an uncracked pistachio, Bakugou says. What? Kirishima tilts his head. Yeah? Bakugou nods, decisively. Unbreakable. And Kirishima blushes. It's times like this that Denki wishes he hadn't passed the entrance exam. A lot of stuff happens after that. Their class absolutely kills it at the school's festival. Bakugou reveals that he's a musician too, which is just overkill at this point. Kirishima gets so jacked that he starts spontaneously bench pressing Bakugou as some sort of weird courting ritual. Denki realizes that his romantic rival Shinso is very pretty rival. And fuck, why is finding love in this class so goddamn hard? Bakugou and Kirishima are still doing their level best to make everyone else in 1A transfer out from sheer secondhand embarrassment, but joke's on them because the class is steadily getting used to their absolutely feral bullshit. Or, well, they were. Chat. Love is dead. Tarzan Monkey Man. If you don't want to regret being born, avoid the common room right now. Jay from Ninjago. That's so ominous, what? Tarzan Monkey Man. Bakugou and Kirishima are, fighting? A lot of perps stared at me. I thought we established that fighting was their courting ritual of choice. Detroit smashed my ass. No, Sarah's right. Kachan just threw a wooden spatula at Kirishima, and Kirishima caught it in his mouth and bit it in half? I'm so stressed. Speedy Gonzalez. Midoriya, your name? Alien Queen. Wait, that's Midoriya? Detroit smashed my ass. I had to change it on a dare and now it won't let me change it back. Please, stop. Tinky Winky. Are we just brushing over Bakugou and Kirishima are fighting? And the fact that Kirishima just chomped a wooden spoon? Jay from Ninjago. He does that sometimes. Tinky Winky. Horrifying. Jay from Ninjago. Yeah, love heart. Tarzan Monkey Man. Wait, Midoriya, are you seeing this right now? Detroit smashed my ass. Emotionally, no. Physically, yes. Tarzan Monkey Man has sent a video. Tarzan Monkey Man. Volume up if you're okay with losing your will to live. You're so full of shit. Bakugou bites out, lancing a wooden spatula at Kirishima, with all the anger expected of a Canadian goose given human form. The sound that Kirishima makes as he crunches down on the wooden handle is sacrilegious. If you want to pretend it's not happening, feel free, he hisses, though it's garbled through his mouthful of actual factual dead tree. But it's happening, whether you like it or not. Bakugou's face is turning an unhealthy shade of red. Like fuck it is. Kirishima hardens so much that his shirt turns to rags. I'm proposing to you first. No the fuck you're not. Stop being selfish. You asked me out, so I should get to propose first. That wasn't even me asking you out. Oh, so we're not even dating now. Katsuki, are you fucking kidding me? The video cuts off as Hunter presumably drops his phone out of overwhelming discomfort. Speedy Gonzalez. Unless I interpreted that wrong, they both use the word first. Tarzan Monkey Man. Yeah. Speedy Gonzalez. So they're both proposing regardless. Detroit smashed my ass. It would appear so, yes. Speedy Gonzalez. Then why? Tinky Winky. Sometimes I wish I hadn't passed the entrance exam. This is one of those moments. Jay from Ninjago. Same. Alien Queen. Same. Tarzan Monkey Man. Same. A lot of perps stared at me. Is there one among us who can still hear the cries of the demons angered? Detroit smashed my ass. No, actually, they're done yelling now. Oh, they're ring shopping. Several people are typing. The next day, Kirishima proposes with a ring pop in the middle of the cafeteria. Bakugou stares at him, before pulling out an identical ring pop from his own pocket. Kirishima laughs obscenely loud and accepts. Pictures are taken. Midoriya blacks out. Denki gets the whole thing on video and contemplates anonymously sending it to a newspaper. With the money from the revenue, he might actually be able to afford a lobotomy. The happy couple walks into hero training with their pinkies swinging. Aizawa glowers at them. Bakugou glares back. Sheepishly, Kirishima holds out a third ring pop. And sighing, Aizawa takes it. What the fuck?